Well, welcome back to the program from Caring Senior Service, Dean White, the owner of the program, and welcome back to the show.
Thanks, man. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. Your service, for folks who don't know what your basic service is, what is it? It's about caring for seniors where they live, right?
100%. We want every senior to be healthy, happy, and at home. And so for that to happen, often as we get older, arthritis sets in or we start forgetting. And it's nice to have somebody that can come in and help with your independence. So there's a number of things that a caregiver can do to help support somebody so that they can stay into their homes.
Yeah, you had a little bit of a list of some of the things that you guys do provide in the home, and it's extensive. It's a lot of stuff in there.
People are really surprised. It's not just that we can help somebody transfer from their bathroom to their bed and take care of their meds, but we can do like house cleaning, we do laundry, we can go to the doctors. Often we will take a client to the doctor, take notes, and then send those notes to the family. Or even if it's for the client, it's nice to have somebody taking notes because sometimes we forget what the doctor said.
Right. Yeah, and that can be a challenge, exactly what's going on there. There's meal prep, there's companionship as well, because, some people live out of state from their families, and they don't have that contact, and that isolation kind of sets in. So that companionship, that person that's there to bounce things off of and talk about their needs is really important, right?
It's really true. Just for mental health, especially, we need interaction with other people.
Right.
And so when you have somebody that can come in, meet with you, spend time with you, have a meal with you, or take you to the park, it restores what life was just a short time ago.
And it also is a big peace of mind for family members who are often the people who call you, right? It's not the senior who's calling you that says they need help. It's the family members say, hey, I think we need to get this for mom or dad in the house here, right?
It's really true. A lot of times, seniors often feel like, I'm independent, I can do it myself, which they can.
I don't want a stranger in my house, I want my privacy. It's just, and that's a natural reaction, right?
Natural reaction. But once they discover that we bring in a caregiver that is more like a family member, they discover how wonderful it is. And so, case in point, we have a client named Lois, and her kids all live out of the area. And was in the very beginning, she's 95 years old, and she goes, you know what, I don't need anybody's help. Her house is immaculate. And we brought Brittany in, and just to get peace of mind to the family members. And Brittany started just with 4 hours a day. And she helped Lois go to the grocery store. She helped Lois prepare a meal. She'd play cards with Lois, just some interaction. And then it was just it was destiny, because just a short time after that, Lois had a fall. And now she knows Brittany. Brittany's there for 8 hours a day. And she even, on the side, decided to do a Christmas time for Lois, and did a tree and gift and everything else, which really cheered her up because she was depressed because of her fall that she had.
Now, one of the things that can be a challenge, or one of the things that all the question comes up front, is what are the costs? And now, how do you compare to like other services that kind of do in-house, right? Other services are a lot of times they're hourly. Yeah,
we're hourly as well. It's good to know when you're starting to call around that you're going to see prices usually between $30 and $45 an hour. Sometimes they can go higher, and sometimes they're even less. Some people will hire somebody from Facebook, for instance, which is there's some really phenomenal caregivers, but they're not going to come insured.
Right.
And they're not going to come with a background check. And if they get sick that day, then there's nobody to replace them.
Right.
And so if you're working with an agency, they're fully background checked. They're going to most likely have workers' comp, or should. And then if they get sick or something happens, you don't like this person, you can swap it out with somebody else. The worst case scenario is that if you hire somebody independently and they slip and fall in your house, then they potentially sue you.
Right. Yeah. So those coming from Caring Senior Service, there's an assurance that those aren't going to be the challenges or issues around those things, right? Those little pitfalls. Also, you guys do have kind of a flat rate as well, right?
Yeah. In fact, a lot of companies, they want you to have a minimum per hour, so many hours a week, like 20 hours, or a minimum per shift. We have a flat fee, and we don't have any minimum. So there's no service fee, there's no sign-up fee. And if the work gets harder, if somebody had a stroke during a time being, and all of a sudden the work goes up, the price doesn't go up.
Okay.
It's one clean, flat rate. And it's nice because I believe that there's a lot of senior abuse, and I stay far from it because it really upsets me. In fact, this one potential client called me and they said, Dean, how much do I charge to process long-term care? I said, no, if you're my client, it's free. It's what I do. They said, because our company just sent us a bill for $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, I don't know anybody in this industry that charges for that. And they said, sure enough, it was on their small print. And so I show everything up front. It's one flat fee, and you're not going to be even charged a mileage fee. If we go to the store for you and come back, or to the doctor, there's no mileage fee, no trip fee. It's just one flat for the hour.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder that there are some nefarious players out there in this community, and they are willing to take advantage of seniors who are isolated, who can't, aren't bouncing their decision off local family members. So be mindful of those things when you're looking into that, right?
It's really true. I come from a ministry background. I was one of the pastors at Saddleback for some time, and then I wanted to start a business where I got to blend business and ministry together. And so it's really, I feel like I hold my company just to a higher standard.
Yeah, and it's not about. And I want to get the sense from you is like it's about service. It's not it isn't the money first. It's the service first,
100%.
right?
100%.
Yeah, and that's an important part. But the money does come into play. So what are some ways that people kind of extend money in their senior years to provide these services for the folks in the house?
It's often the question I get, and people say, okay, Dean, is there other ways to pay for this? And the first one that comes up is if anybody has a long-term care policy. An important thing to know is that a long-term care policy...
That would be in someone's insurance or something like that?
That's right, right in their insurance. They had bought this some time ago. Now, it can be part of your life insurance, or they have just purchased a long-term care insurance policy. I have one on myself, and if you cannot do 2 of 6 regular daily activities, then you can get approved for your long-term care.
Okay.
Now, it's important to know that most of them have a 90-day elimination period. That means for the first 90 days, the insurance company wants to see that you're paying it, and then they'll take over. Just because in that 90 days, somebody may recover from a stroke or something.
Right, because some of those things can be temporary in terms of the challenges they're having, right?
That is exactly right, exactly right. But if it's hard to get to the bathroom or feed yourself or clothe yourself or take medications, those are a few of the items that long-term care then can start providing. So long-term care is the biggest one. Another one would be the Veterans Administration. If you were married to a vet or are a vet, there's a good chance that you have some good benefits coming to you. And it's easiest, instead of you going through the front door and asking the VA, it's easiest if you just could call me and let my inside agent then call in for you and try to set that up, because the VA pays actually better rates than a lot of companies charge. Okay,
and also in that list of things, also there is selling property, life insurance, things like that.
Yeah, people, there's a lot of more options. So obviously there's a reverse mortgage. You've heard about those, and you've had companies here at Laguna Woods that offer that. That could be an option. It also could be refinancing the house or selling a property.
Selling and downsizing. Maybe they have 2 stories and they really aren't as mobile as they used to be, things like that?
Yes, exactly. Instead of retrofitting your house with everything to make it 2 stories work, much better to downsize if it's better for them. And then the last thing, people don't realize they can often sell their life insurance. And we can help with that, and we've been able to sell somebody's life insurance and bring in as much money as they have put into it. And so it's really a win-win situation for the whole family.
So they can get that buyout and then they'd be able to finance that care for the longer term, right?
That's right. And also help their family members today versus wait for the future. Yeah.
When you talk to family members, what do you find is the biggest challenge or the biggest concern when they're talking about getting this service in for their mom or dad or whoever it might be?
I think the biggest thing is like what you mentioned earlier. I have a stranger coming into my house.
Right.
And so it's really important to me that I meet with the family and I try to do my very best to match the caregiver to that family member. And they need to know that if that isn't the right fit, I'm happy to bring in a different caregiver until we have a right fit. And then once they get the right fit, they realize, this is really nice. not only is it nice for the client, but like you said earlier, that peace of mind is huge. And so the peace of mind for the family members, that is.
Right. And so when the family members are doing this, do you kind of walk them through the whole process? Or is it something you bring the everybody involved in, not only the person you're going to be doing the caretaking for, but the family? Is it a group thing, or do you split it up?
Yeah, usually I meet with the whole family together.
Okay.
But sometimes it starts with a phone call. And it's just simply a phone call and then some text messaging. I'm not a pressure person, so I'm not one to pressure somebody. And so I let somebody take time. And I've had people that I've spoken to one day, and 6 months later they call me. And they said, Dean, you met with us. We want to get started now. And sometimes we start just with 4 hours a week. And then we grow from that.
Right.
And it's better to start something in the process versus having a hospitalization.
Right, or there's a fall, and now we have to have something.
You have to have somebody, and it's always better to get started sooner than later.
Do you find that it is that kind of like 6 months later kind of thing? Is it those process of acceptance and getting over those barriers that can sometimes be the biggest challenge?
I would say that's probably the biggest challenge, and I would say that is probably 20% of people out there. There is some people that are looking for a caregiver and just haven't found the right one.
Okay.
That is the other one, is that they have been with other agencies or with other people. They feel bad to let this person go to find somebody who is a better fit. And I say it's your life. You need to really have the right partner next to you at all times.
Right, you want to be with somebody that's going to work for. Well, I appreciate you coming in, Dean White, owner of Caring Senior Service. As always, it can be a very life-changing experience for families and a lot of peace of mind as well. Thanks for joining us, Dean.
Thanks, Mike.
And thanks a lot, Dean. All right, we'll be right back. You're watching This Day on Village Television.